A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3. Oh, excommunication when you think they would be hating, but there ain't no debating, there's still common ground.
Watching movies and some streaming with your ex, it's so redeeming. They're both pretty snarky, it's about to go down. It's a girl from California and a man about town.
On excommunication. Yeah.
Hey,
Cheers.
oh my goodness, this is actually happening.
He's alive.
And by the time this becomes an actual podcast or vlogcast or whatever you call it, your peppy theme song will have played us on. So these
Oh,
words we're
yeah.
saying are following your incredible, the song that you made up in the shower, maybe?
I felt like Taylor Swift. Like, this is what she feels like when she rhymes like car and bar and then makes it catchy. And then all her fans are like screaming for her and she gets all this adulation. That's how I felt like coming out of my shower.
Yes. Well, it makes it sexier knowing
Cheers.
that's where you came up with it, but to you, I say hello. To any listeners we might have, this is the first episode of the Excommunication podcast.
I'm glad you announced it because I'm still in denial. Like, there's a podcast mic literally in my face. My closet is suddenly a podcast studio. I'm like, what is life right now? How did I get here? How did
I didn't-
something that
and
how did
you
it
know what?
spiral out of control like this?
I'm
We were
gonna
like, oh, we
show-
should do a project together.
I'm going to show my maturity by not making a joke about this isn't the first time a big black thing's been in your face. Now,
Not the first
because
time.
that's not what this podcast is going to be about. This podcast, my name is
Wow,
Scott.
you're so focused on your jokes. You missed my little jab
What did
there.
you say?
That
What?
it's not the first time.
That's what I said. I
Oh.
said, this isn't the first time you've had a big black thing in your face.
Oh.
And then
All
you
right,
said it's
then.
not the first time.
Touche.
Touche. Well, my name is Scott Robin. This is Melissa Vegas. And I'm not the host, so I don't know why I'm doing the introductions.
I'm not the
you could
host
do it.
either. You introduced it, so whoever introduces is the host.
There are no hosts or hostesses. This is a collab between people that one of us has dubbed X's, hence the name of the show, Excommunication.
Yes, we are making Gwyneth Paltrow proud with taking conscious uncoupling to the next level. We're making her actually look less pretentious in comparison, because even she, I don't think, would dare to go this far.
Well, I don't think all of us agree with your designation of us as X's, which is one of the subjects we'll have to get into
Right.
on
Male
this
delusion.
podcast.
That's something I would love to talk about. If you could sell that and bottle it for me and I could just drink it every day, like a little pick-me-up.
A lot of the world functions on the basis that men are delusional.
Right.
The bulk of human existence, it's largely based on the delusions that men have. So this fits perfectly with the sweet spot of humanity. It also hits our sweet spot of our interests because I don't know how anybody would know this since it's the first episode, but I figured I should mansplain it.
Of
We are going to
course.
be talking about whatever we want. Is that an accurate depiction of what we're going to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, we said that if we put too much work into it, it's not going to be fun.
Just
know,
like a relationship.
And just like our relationship, we're already disagreeing right out of the gate, already on what episode 1 should be about. I'm saying we need to kind of explain ourselves. I've been like off grid in witness protection, and suddenly I'm popping up, and you are a Vegas guy, and then all of a sudden we just like get a podcast and we're talking about Stranger Things. Like, how strange is that?
Well,
Us
seeing
talking
you,
about
I'm
Stranger
popping
Things
up.
without an explanation.
Well, okay, well, we can do that if you want. Let's do like a 60-second bio if you think that's important.
Well,
Or you can ask me questions and I'll
Yeah.
ask you questions.
Okay.
Who are
I thought
who are
that
you,
it would be-
Melissa?
No, I like let's start off, I think, with,
Here we go.
why we're what individual motivation do we have to be doing this? And then we can get into, I figured, like, why we're qualified, because why would anyone wanna listen to us talk about movies, TV, and streaming if we don't have any background to be able to support our opinions? So that's
Well,
just my opinion.
I know. So I'll do it quickly. You're pretty and I'm interesting. So that is why people would want
Well,
to, huh?
I woke up like this, thank you. But, no, I it's funny you bring that up because,
Yes.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that would disagree with you. And it's been a few years since I've put myself out there, at least on the visual side. So if this just ends up being an audio file, I'm totally fine with it. I hadn't looked maybe in like a year and a half, but I went and just perused some of the hate sites, the troll, whatever you want to call him, stalker, troll, hater. And yeah, he's still posting. And it's old pictures of us from like 6 years ago. So, and I'm like, man, in a way, it was kind of, I don't know, it kind of like gave me hope, because I'm like, you know what? No matter what I do, he's still gonna, it ends when he ends. It's not gonna end. Even if I
Or
go and
or when
move into
I
the
figure
mountains.
if I figure out who it is, that's when
Well,
it
we thought
ends.
we did, right? And then, yeah, we thought we did. But anyways, that's why I hadn't checked in like a year and a half. Like around that time, I had been checking. But yeah, no, but it just kind of gave me more motivation to do this, because I thought, he's not going to stop anyway. But this is gonna be like Christmas morning to him, though. Could you imagine, like, if we do post the actual visual, oh, screenshots galore. He is gonna have a field day, because he has been working off old content for years. And so I'm interested. I'm actually really excited for him. I'm trying to like reframe this, because I know it's coming, and he's gonna, like I said, whatever, chop up my audio, or find whatever most unflattering angles to capture of me to like post on his thing. So I'm just preparing myself. But good for him and good for
W
us.
well, this for anybody who doesn't know, this is a, psychotic individual who back in the day, I was doing Vital Vegas, which I'm still doing. Melissa Vegas was doing her podcast, Twitter, all those things.
All the
And
things.
this person was a really obsessive troll and said some really disgusting things, about you. Like, I don't think I have a much thicker skin, but I was kind of, you know, it did affect me, but I'm never gonna make a decision based on one a-hole who I don't know, who nobody listens to, who has no audience, and even if he did have an audience, it's other assholes. So, we've already given
Exactly.
him way more time than he deserves. I'm very excited to do this with you because this doesn't really overlap, I don't think, with what we've done in the past because we never really talked about just general subjects of interest. We've never talked really about pop culture. Our subject matter was really a lot about Vegas because you were living in Vegas. I do Vital Vegas, obviously that's my thing. But one of the reasons I wanted to do another podcast beyond wanting to do something collaborative with you was I would love to be able to talk about something other than Las Vegas. And I am looking forward to hopefully, we can talk about a lot of TV, a lot of movies, things in general. If I feel like talking about politics one day, I wanna talk about that. And I wanna hear your opinions on those subjects because I think for me, one of the reasons that a podcast seemed appealing to me is we have these conversations all the time. I think our conversations are interesting. I don't really care if other people listen or agree. I have no goals. I have no ambition. I don't wanna be famous for this podcast. I don't wanna be rich from this podcast.
True
I
that.
just wanna have an excuse to have a conversation with you, someone who I find interesting. I think our tastes overlap in interesting ways, and they diverge in interesting ways. And I think other people, I would love to hear the opinions of others who share our opinions, who differ with us. I think that's the interesting part of podcasting and whatever the video equivalent is. We haven't decided if we're gonna make the video part of this show, but, uh, so what would you say the appeal of doing a podcast is for you at this juncture and doing one with me, the
Well,
person
I
you
was just
keep
gonna say, the
here
way you're describing it, if this is just a ploy to get back in my good graces, I'm gonna kill you. But I'll explain on my end that, yeah, as you mentioned, I was trying to do the kind of Vegas content creator thing when I was there. Just didn't really have a clear direction with it. It was kind of just experimenting in real time, trying a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, Twitter account, everything. And then had some kind of tumultuous things, some traumatic things happen in my life. And then we ended our relationship. So I ended up leaving Vegas. And it always just kind of felt like unfinished, or just exploring whether I want to be a content person, creator, just to begin with. And so that always has kind of been like a nagging thing. And so when you brought up the idea of doing a project together, and you were expressing that you were kind of bored with Vital Vegas and looking to do something new, I thought, okay, well, why not? And also, it's probably the first time, maybe in history, two exes are starting a venture together, because I actually had a moment where I went on to like Google, or not Google, to go into Apple Podcasts to see if anyone had our name. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, who would do this? Of course, there is no podcast named Excommunication. Of course, it doesn't exist, because people are reasonable and rational and normal, and they would never. I understand, like, when you're in a relationship, you start a business venture or something, and then you break up. So it's successful. So you have to continue it on. But yeah, you know what? I just thought it's something that hasn't been done. It sounds fun. It's a way to deal with our crushing nihilism and existential dread. And I'm just going with it. We'll see. Like you said, who knows if we're even going to go past the 10 episodes that we
Yeah,
committed
I
to.
thought and I mentioned that I thought a 10-episode podcast, like, like some of the crime podcasts, they have a set number. They know they're telling a story, so they know it's not gonna go on forever. So I thought for us, because I kind of lack motivation overall, other than trying to get in your good graces, um, I thought 10 episodes was like a reasonable goal so that we have a beginning, middle, and end. We don't feel pressured to do anything beyond that, but if anybody listens or cares or shows, you know, interest in continuing, I think it's an open conversation. I do wanna clarify that because I am still doing Vital Vegas, I'm not bored with Vital Vegas per se. I have been doing it 14 years or so. I wouldn't say it's boredom, it's more like I never thought I would be writing about or talking about one subject for a decade. That is nothing I ever imagined. At this point, I'm Vegas famous. I should have been world famous, but I devoted the peak years of my professional career to Las Vegas. So, and I transformed Las Vegas, the media landscape. I changed casinos. I changed the culture. I changed the conversation. I changed the social media around Las Vegas. But that's very limiting when you should be a global phenomenon. E- to be a local phenomenon is
What kind of
not as
global, like, what
satisfying.
would you be known for if
I
it
have
wasn't for?
no idea because I have no ambition, and I'm kinda being facetious. No, I thought I was gonna be a screenwriter. I don't like collaboration, obviously.
Right,
Uh,
because I was late even to this podcast, and you were not happy.
Thank you for bringing it up. No, I think for both of us, because we are the sole driver of this. There's no monetary motivation. Nobody's paying us to do it. So it's like a relationship. We have to recreate that relationship every day. So we have to create enthusiasm for a podcast. We have to create discipline. We've done some of the legwork. We've come up with the graphic. We've come up with the theme song, but you have to generate ideas. You have to generate, what's the conversation going to be about? And if we talk about streaming entertainment, if we talk about movies, we're going to have to coordinate, and we're gonna have to, like, there's professional components of this. One of them being punctuality, responsibility, and, like me talking to you like you're a child because of
Well,
the
sorry, I've been
patriarchy.
a beach bum for a few years, so time doesn't exist at the beach.
Right. So, welcome to excommunication. Have we laid the groundwork? Emphasis on laid?
Um, Almost. So I wanna actually confront you on something, if
Oh,
that's
good
okay.
God. Yes.
Well, it's not live, so you can cut it out if you don't like it.
Yeah, let me pause. Mm,
But
mm,
hey,
mm.
there was a big I gotta work on that too. Toastmasters. So when I originally moved to Vegas, I was excited to finally kind of express myself creatively, and I did want to be a blogger, writer, or content creator. And the original idea that I had, or the original niche I was going for, was dating and relationships. So I had a blog called Comical Cupid, and I had just started it, and it was in the baby stages, and it
It was
was
so good, by the way.
girl about town, Vegas, Sex in the City comes to Las Vegas, dating adventures, and that was the direction I was going. And then I thought, well, geez, I don't really know the technical side of blogging and SEO, so let me take a class, and so I can grow my blog and figure out what I want to do with it. And lo and behold, who was the teacher at that class? Do you know?
Me?
Yeah. And
Do I
so
know? That's where we met. We met at
that's where
a
we met.
a
And so
blogging
then you offered to
workshop.
mentor me. But and then as we got together, then I can't be dating girl if I have a boyfriend. So then I kind of had to
So you're
pivot
saying
and
I derailed your
from
trajectory.
from global fame, as you
Okay.
said.
Right, because that would have been a global, and you're such a funny writer. I don't think people know that about you because you never had after that, you never had, like, you were doing Vegas content, but you never did a blog, right?
I did.
A Las
Oh, someone
Vegas?
didn't read it. Yes, I did. MelissaVegas.com.
Oh, yeah, no, that was right.
Yeah,
Um, I misspoke. I'll cut that part out.
sure.
But, yeah, so it's interesting because one of the reasons I found you so interesting was your writing was so good. And I remember the dating stuff. Maybe I was resentful that you were trying to do Vegas stuff or whatever. What did you write about in that blog?
Resentful. Why would you be resentful that I was you thought I was writing your coattails or trying to copy you?
No. Well, it's hard for me. It's like a magician who performs for another magician. So it's like it's hard for me to go see stand up. It's hard for me to read a blog because I do this too, and it's kind of like it it's it doesn't it it's not the same effect as if you're
So
just a member
only
of the
your
public.
Vegas content should be read by anyone.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so you
Duly
had a
noted.
point to
Oh,
your
okay, yeah, no,
story?
that was my point, that because I didn't kinda work that into my explanation, that I had originally always wanted to do content creation, writing, blogging, vlogging, and I got kinda derailed and then went the Vegas route, and like I said, it's just still kind of been something that I've been wanting to explore, and this podcast, even though it's not a blog or a social media account, is helping me do that. Because 'cause I've
Right.
always been into pop culture and movies and TV. And that's actually originally what we bonded over because we both had a passion, interest in screenwriting. And yeah. So is it okay
Yep.
if I interview you now on what
Please.
qualifications you have, speaking of screenwriting?
2 Can we limit it to 2 questions? I'm very, very busy.
Let's see.
And
I
Red
have a
Rock
few.
Casino has a new restaurant, Hearthstone, and they make butter pasta. It's just pasta with butter.
Only you would get
I'm
away
gonna
with
go, "Oh my god,
that,
delicious."
with taking a picture of butter pasta and being like, this is your destination dish in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, the foodies are like bending over like backwards trying to get cool shots of their food and fancy restaurants and your butter pasta for Vital Vegas.
Delicious. But that's
Okay.
why I have a hard stop because they opened up and we're staying open till 10, but now they're closing at 9. And I walked in the other night and I had
Oh,
this
who's the
look of
diva now?
crushing disappointment. And I look at the pizza chef and I'm like, "Chef, it's 9:30. I came in plenty of time, and now you're starting to close at 9." So had been closed a half hour. I'm like, I had my hopes up so high. He goes, "Momentito."
Oh,
Boom.
it's butter pasta. It can't be that hard to make.
He he brought out a pizza and he goes, "It's on the house. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We
Wow.
hope you'll come back."
Who's
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming back after the podcast. I'm gonna get some
who's the diva
pasta."
now? Who's the
Boom.
diva?
Oh, butter pasta pizza? Oh, I'm gonna suggest that. That's too good.
Okay, so you're gonna get interviewed first,
Oh, good
and
God.
now that I
I
got that
don't
off
think
my
we should
chest.
talk about ourselves anymore because the troll is gonna say like, "Oh, great, another opportunity for them to talk about themselves, blah,
Well, I
blah, blah."
thought you just said that you had a beautiful, eloquent speech that we shouldn't let the troll dictate how we move forward, and we shouldn't give him
No, I
another
think
minute of our attention.
we should base everything we do on we should anticipate what the troll's gonna say because we know this asshole so well. We could literally go like, "Oh, it's blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
appearance with
I
you,"
know
and then
because
with me, it'll be, "Oh, he's gotten 80 years older," and, "Oh, great, a podcast where the hosts just talk about themselves and never talk about the thing they said they were gonna talk about. Where's your discussion
it's
of Stranger Things?" Blah,
episode
blah, blah.
1, so he can chill. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say like, "Oh, I'm an idiot savant with this," and he's just gonna cut off savant, and then the soundbite's gonna be, "I'm an
I'm an
idiot."
idiot.
Yeah, gonna be it. So I'm
Well,
already
here's the thing. The
gearing up for
sad
that.
part, and here's a big picture thing. The sad part is that us side by side in a YouTube video, I will be a jerk. I will, because I said no mask during COVID, blah, blah, blah. It'll
No
be
what?
all opinion,
Oh,
my opinions. It'll be all appearance based in your case. So
I don't think so.
he's not gonna
I think
criticize
that
your
ship has
thoughts and
sailed for
ideas.
me.
He's gonna talk about your appearance. In my case, I don't drink anymore, so he can't call me a drunk, blah, blah, blah. But he can still, yeah, and he'll say, "Oh, I'm using this podcast to try and get some." Mhm.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day, so anyways.
In this case, it's probably just a working clock.
Working. Okay, so and then there was another, thing we disagreed on is I feel like this should be more structured, and we should have an outline, and you said, "No, let's just talk."
Clearly, we don't
So,
need structure. Clearly.
yeah, clearly.
That sound
Okay.
you hear is people switching to old episodes of the Vital Vegas podcast.
Oh, that was another thing. Maybe we can edit this because I am talking about the troll a lot, but don't shake your head.
It's
He
fine.
also called out that you haven't done your podcast in a really long time, so he's obviously noticed. So, like I said, he's going to be like foaming at the mouth with new material. So
No,
it's a happy day.
like, he hates me, but secretly loves me. Like,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
reason he would make fun of me for that is because he loves everything I do. And he the interesting thing is that Twitter has actually gotten so much better at giving content creators a way to just silence their detractors. So it really I have not seen this individual post in a year. And it's because they have a function where you can remove the comment and you can block them at the same time. So this guy's created probably 100 accounts, and I didn't have a way to keep him from chiming in. Well, now if you can hide the reply and block the person, they have no audience. They have this little band of it's mostly him talking to himself, but he does have other assholes that listen to him. So it has been the best thing in the world for me because if you had to go looking for the stupidity, but it
I did.
used
I
to be
looked today.
but it used to be foisted on me because he would chime in on conversations he wasn't invited to, and I could block him, but the comment would still be there, which means all my fans and followers are looking at him call me a shill 100 times a day. A baseless lie. Twitter never had any interest in the fact this individual is lying, defaming, uh, slandering, libeling,
Because
whatever.
it's parody, right? It's like the parody
Yeah,
protection.
and you just call it a parody. I'm like, no, parody's supposed to be funny, you dipshit.
Anyways,
What's
moving
the
on.
question?
So, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that you were bored with Vital Vegas, but yeah, it's just like you
Like,
said, you've been
I'm looking for other ways. It's really gambling that I'm bored with, and I'm looking for other things to occupy my time.
right.
Uh,
And so many people don't know that you lived a long, long life even before you started Vital Vegas, and that started in Hawaii.
I lived a
So
long life.
you lived a long life before you became an influencer, because most influencers are in
Oh,
their
I see.
20s and 30s, and I think you became an influencer in your 50s, right?
And I don't
So,
know that I ever became an influencer, but yes, I did grow up in Hawaii. Thank you for asking. Where did you grow up?
and well, no, we're going one at a time. Or yeah, we're not. It's not going to be like a ping pong thing. But okay, so you grew up in Hawaii
Structure.
and you got into performing arts as a kid, teenager. And so, what drew you to the arts as a young lad growing
What's
up in
the
Hawaii?
question?
Are you paying attention?
Yeah, something about Hawaii.
What drew you to the performing
Oh, drew me.
arts as a
Um,
young lad?
yeah, I started in California. I lived in San Diego for 3 years, like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and it was on a military base, and they had a theater group, and I got to play. At the time, there was, what do they call that? Tang? And so there was
Tang.
like the mascot was like the Tang Moon Man. So I
What's
played
Tang?
the
Oh, the
Tang is like,
drink.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
powder that the astronauts drank or whatever. You mix it with water. So I played the Tang. I have a vague memory of it. I was like all green or whatever, and I was in this play. I don't think I even spoke, but I was hooked because there was a lot of attention, a lot of people applauding me and telling me how talented I was. Even before I knew what acting was, I
You saw
couldn't
the
tell you how I found
adulation.
out about, yeah, adulation. And so then in high school, there was never gonna be any I was never gonna get any action at all.
Why
So I had to
not?
find another pursuit. Huh?
Why not?
Do you have a camera? Or what? This is
Okay,
not a
I disagree with you on this, and I think you know that you're good looking because you wouldn't have pursued acting if people that think they're ugly don't try to be actors. But anyways, and
that
you
n
weren't ugly, so
well, thank you. This is one of the reasons I love you so
don't
much
say
is
this is
because
why I'm doing the podcast so you can get
yeah,
compliments out of me.
positive affirmation. Uh, but yeah, and then I started doing mime. I did ventriloquism. I did I did regular acting. I did improv like through high school and college. I was always the star of the plays, and that was the only reason girls talked to me. And in Hawaii, it's a very violent place. It's very
It's a
racist.
how is it a
Uh,
violent place?
It's
It's
it's vi
paradise.
well, it's violent toward, gringos. They're called haoles, Caucasians,
So growing
especially
up, you
people in the military.
experienced some bullying, then it sounds
Yes,
like.
and there were times when the fact I was really good as an actor saved my life because even to these morons,
Oh,
someone with
well,
talent was kinda like, I don't have the urge to punch him in the face." And they would say, "I'm gonna punch you in the face," because that's what they did. There's
right.
massive people, uh, the size of mountains, and they punched each other in the face just as, like, part of the culture. And, so
Like, and would they do it
occasionally
in front of you and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm next."
yeah, yeah. Oh, I have multiple friends who were just pummeled right in front of
Ugh.
me. Um, and I wasn't like a fast runner, so I wasn't gonna escape that way. I wasn't tough, so I was
You had to
skinny.
mime your way out of
I
your
mimed, yeah.
troubles.
It was mostly like my reputation in this like among my people my age, not just in my school, but across the island because I was known I would, like, win awards, and so that whatever reputation in high school saved my life. It threatened my life that I would flirt with their girlfriends, but then it saved my life that I was kind of funny, quick on my feet, and some would say that's why I still feel the need to make inappropriate jokes about microphones to this day because, um, it was a survival skill. But
Oh,
now
because you
it's
think,
kind
like,
of
some Samoan guy is gonna come date me or something, or oh, okay, I get it.
well, no, I went on Fremont Street as an adult a couple years ago and got punched in the face by an asshole from Hawaii. Like, it was the
Oh,
well,
okay.
I didn't yeah, he actually he did it was the first punch I'd ever taken, and it's
Was this
as
like
an
a rowdy
adult.
guy in a bar?
Nope. He was with his family on vacation.
Uh-huh.
It was very loud, uh, so I offered to take a photo because he was taking a photo with the family. I'm like, "Oh, he might wanna get in it." So I walked toward the family, and I was just being like me, friendly, silly, and for whatever reason, he thought I was going after his family or his kids, or he thought I was a homeless person. I kinda dressed like a derelict, so I understand that part, but he just took a swing at me. The whole family turned because that's a Hawaii thing, is like, you don't just fight the one guy, you got 20
You
relatives
got the
around you.
whole crew,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's a whole mob scene. Now I have my CCW. I think I could have mitigated that situation pretty easily just by lifting my shirt up, but at the time, I didn't have a CCW.
So that brought flashbacks back to Nam,
Now,
back to your
we've hit 30
days.
minutes. Are we going to talk about Stranger Things?
No, I'm not done with my interview yet. I told you the
Oh,
first episode is just gonna be us showing our qualifications, and then we're gonna dive in. But
should
apparently
one of
you
us be
disagree.
the producer of the show? Because the producer of the show kind of decides, like, okay, let's give people some compelling content in the first podcast and then maybe do the bios in episode
I
5.
think people are more interested in this, actually. I see it the complete opposite because I saw this when we would go out. The Gwen Stefani effect does not apply to me. Just as the girl, you immediately get all the attention or you are the focus. Your fans would be like elbowing me out of the way to talk to you, talk to Vital Vegas, and like, oh hi Melissa. Like they did not care that I had a Twitter, whatever I was trying to do, even if I was like you know, decked out, like, dressed to the nines, they did not care. They would, like, wrestle me to the ground to talk to you. So I just feel like this would be a good opportunity for your fans to, like, get to know you a little bit and maybe then continue on once we start talking about shows and streaming and Stranger Things,
I
but that's just
honestly
my
don't
opinion.
think that people that follow me or that followed you for your Vegas content,
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna have any interest in this because Pluribus has nothing to do with well, it does because part of it was shot at
Well,
Westgate,
you
but
cut me
for
off
the
right
most
when I
part.
was getting to you get to
Oh,
LA. You're the one that went on a tangent about bullying when I was trying to keep it
you
flowing.
started it.
And why? Because well, this is why you are who you are. You literally have to perform to get out of getting your ass beat. So it kind of gives people insight into why you do the things you do and why you tweet the things you tweet because that little boy is still in there being like, "Oh my god, if I don't stir shit up today or if I don't, cause a diversion, my life's on the line."
This is not called the therapy podcast, okay? Let's go on to your
Okay,
next
well,
question.
good. First argument happening live on
Oh,
air.
no, there's gonna be arguments. I think if we can tease anybody with anything other than your cleavage, I think it should be,
Well,
we're
now we're
probably gonna fight.
desperate.
Because if
What?
you're in a current normal relationship, you're probably not gonna fight as much. But in a situationship, you're gonna see disagreements about any number of subjects, and I think that's what makes our, relationship interesting, is because we have
That we've
in-depth,
stayed friends
long
through the
convos.
years and we're doing a project together. That's what's
What
interesting about that. That's
No, it's interesting that we can agree to disagree, as opposed to most of America, where if you disagree with somebody, you don't want them to be in your life. It's true with me. I had this pointed out the other day. They're like 'cause I said, like, "I don't have that many friends," and they said, "Well, maybe that's because you have a lot of strong opinions." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you can have strong opinions and still get along with people." And they're like, "Not the ones you have."
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, interesting,"
Well, I
because
mean,
it
that's
never
true to
occurred
a
to
certain
me.
extent. But
Yeah.
like I said, and this watching movies and streaming and having that camaraderie, I think, is like a bond that we share. Like I always say, people break up and they have to take custody of a kids or a pet. I feel like we have custody of like this interest together of just a love for the arts, and so we maintain that, and it's just hard to find. Like I don't live in a city with a lot of creatives. Vegas is kind of a little bit better, but and we did have a screenwriting group at one point, but that got disbanded during COVID. So it's just, yeah, this is like a bonding thing. And so, and I even said if a show like Pluribus had come on while we were together, I feel like it would have given us our relationship longevity. I feel like those moments that where we couldn't stand each other living together, just knowing that we another episode was coming out that we could kind of bounce theories off of, and that just knowing that someone is just as invested in a show as you are is just it's that's hard to find, I feel. And as for anything, like someone if they're fanatical about sports, they're gonna probably wanna be with someone that at least has a general understanding of it. I don't know. But that's just me.
Well,
I
I
mean,
would not have stuck around for an episode of a TV show. I stuck around for the whatever the new outfit was. So it was kinda like
the
a new episode of
outfit?
Pluribus dropping, but it was like,
What
"Oh,
outfit are you
a new
talking about?
thong." Well, I don't know. So anyway, a
What?
question about when I moved to
Pluribus and
LA or something.
thongs?
Yeah, Pluribus is
Well, you
your
do have
thong.
a Zosha
Thongs
crush.
are the new Pluribus. Who?
Zosha? I said you do have a Zosha
Oh,
crush,
the
so
brunette
she's your type,
actress
yeah.
who's very good at her part? No, but she seems almost age appropriate.
Oh my gosh, she's like 42.
Oof,
Yeah.
that old. So
That
anyway,
old.
yeah, so then I moved to LA, I worked at the Writers Guild for 10 years. I wanted to be a screenwriter. The more I learned about it, I have a stack of scripts that I think are absolute genius. I wrote a Seinfeld script that's better than any Seinfeld
I
script.
like that one, yeah, with the
Oh,
cups.
thank you.
See, I
And
remember your writing.
and the
Oh, you had
irony
a blog?
is
What
no,
was
the
it called?
irony is that I helped you build your
You
blog.
did.
Like,
Yeah.
I helped you do it, and in my mind, for whatever reason, I think it's probably I was just jealous because 'cause you're a good writer, and I don't need all that.
Wow.
I'd be more comfortable if you were less talented.
Breaking news. Wow, you're really buttering me up, aren't you?
Just like my pasta at Red Rock.
Butter
What?
pasta. Okay, so then you worked at the Writers Guild for 10 years, and then you have 1 IMDb oh, no, sorry, 2 IMDb credits. I
Thank you.
feel
Do
like this
not
is
cut my
relevant
credits in half. Yes.
to our show because it shows some
It
relevance
is
that
not. It
it
is
shows
not.
that there's at least one, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Someone has background in this, and that you do have a movie credit. And how did you get? So you were a production assistant on the iconic, legendary straight to VHS, produced by Sony, Miracle
I
Beach.
have it on DVD, so it's straight to
Oh, I
DVD.
almost said straight to DVD, but I caught myself.
Yeah, Miracle
How did
Beach.
you get a job on that movie set?
Well, before I started the Writers Guild, I knew I wanted to be in entertainment in some capacity. And at that point, I thought production was a good way to learn about the business. So, uh, they, you know, you there were paid PA positions. Then there's the position I had and my
They paid
friend
you in
Sean.
boobies.
Oh, it was so many boobies.
Dude,
Uh,
I watched the trailer. It's just straight boobies.
it was
It's
basically a
softcore
way
porn.
for the producers and actors to meet women. And so why wouldn't you do it on a beach and have a bikini contest in your movie? You get to interview like 100
That's what I'm
people
saying. Of
in
all
bikinis.
movies, the fact that you got picked for that one, that must have been,
Craziness. And
yeah.
never did it again because it was really hard work. But I'm such a kiss ass. Like I was already moving up the ladder. I know I could have by now I could have been I don't know if I would have been a famous director, but I would have been an AD or something in that realm because I was literally just lugging stuff around and running errands, but by the time we were finished, I was like I was pulling cable, with the camera guy. I was in craft services. I was working with all these people kind of I could tell like, "Oh,
Rubbing
this
elbows
is."
with Pat Morita and Amy
Yeah, and
Dolenz.
it's how yeah, and Amy Dolenz comes out of her trailer, and I'm like, I don't know who you," like, I didn't know who she was, but
Why, did she not look
I knew.
good?
No, she looked good.
She
That
looked
was
good?
that was
Yeah,
prime Amy Dolenz.
yeah.
Um, but she asked me a question, and she's like, I think they call it the golden hour or something, where if you work a certain number of hours per day and you go beyond that, then you get, like, paid time and a half, you get an extra meal, there's, like, union stuff, whatever. So she asked me, like, "Are we in golden hour yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know what that is."
Ooh, you
And then
choked.
the only other thing I remember is being yelled at multiple times because they just treat PAs like garbage. And so I didn't care to do that again. Then I worked I just took there was an agency that just farms people out for like, if it's a production company and you need somebody to do filing, they just pay you minimum wage and you go. And the big lure is like, "Oh, I have access to this producer," or whatever. Well, I think my first job was doing filing at the Writers Guild in the PR department. Boom. So, once again, I kissed up, made worked my way up. I was doing a lot of stuff at the Writers Guild. Then my sister pumped out 12 kids. She moved to Vegas. My parents moved to Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I needed to break up, with a girlfriend at the time,
Wait,
because
so
I
you
didn't.
came to Vegas to break up with a girlfriend?
Yeah, because I knew our dog was only had maybe another 2 or 3 years, and I could not handle that kind of heartbreak, so I broke up with her so I could move to Vegas,
Oh,
and
that's not a good story though, because it's
she
like
could
people
handle the.
if you are, like you said, kind of the influencer of the city. I guess you don't like that term, but the man about town, even though maybe other people like to call themselves that. But that you should have a better origin story of like you were just so obsessed and passionate about coming to Vegas and
Yeah, and there were.
starting a blog there.
Yes, and there were so many kids with cancer, and I really wanted to come and help them, so I came and got cured cancer,
Yeah,
and I
tweets for
did.
can tweets for the cure. You're doing so much. You're doing
That was
God's
a
work.
good one. See,
Tweets for
now
the cure.
we have to keep our eye on the cute things you say because we're gonna call
Oh, I don't like that.
the
Cute
title of
things.
the podcast.
That just doesn't yeah, that sounds very
Well,
reductive.
you it's not shouldn't keep you from saying cute things just
Tweets
because you
for the
don't like
cure,
it.
that's actually that could be something. That's not just cute. That actually,
If we
some
could make
company
it
could use that.
sexual or provocative, that would be great. Like, I think we should call it big black microphone or I mean, in
Anyways,
my face. Like,
don't you have
titles,
a big black microphone too? How come you don't
it's, silver.
have that moniker? Oh, it's silver.
Yep. So
I
thank
like
you for asking me about myself. Now, how about your background?
Oh, I was gonna
Uh,
ask you about Love Connection, and did you really? Because you love showing that video when you're out to cocktail waitresses so you can show them what you look like, and they could be like, "Oh, so handsome."
okay, this is the other reason I love you. Your
So
memory is incredible because I told that story. That might have been 6 months ago, and it was just, like, in passing, "Oh, these cocktail waitresses at Ellis Island had been looking at my video, blah, 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 they said I was
I just
handsome."
happened to be a stumble upon it.
No, I shared it on my page, and one of them is a Facebook friend, and she saw it, and she shared it with the other cocktail server, and the only reason I told this story was because I don't believe you when you say I'm handsome, and then they said I looked handsome, and I said, "That was 30 years
And then
ago."
you believed it
Yeah, then I
because someone
believed it.
else told you.
Well, I always
Well,
figured you had an
we're
agenda. I could never figure out what the agenda was. That was the
Anyways,
thing.
did you want to actually find I never asked you this. Did you actually want to find love or were you just doing it because you like you said, you were experimenting and trying to figure out what you wanted to do entertainment-wise?
No, I wanted to be on TV at that time,
Oh,
and
okay.
so did my date, it turns out, because she was engaged.
Yeah.
So it was all a big lie. but
course.
I did, like, a Shakespearean accent. I'm like, "This is gonna get me an acting gig," and then it didn't.
Yeah, and then any other cool Hollywood stories? Does anyone hate you besides T-1000's wife?
How
Who
in the hell do you remember things like
'Cause
that?
that story is hilarious because it's so something you would do and put your foot in your mouth, and then at that time, he was big too, right? Like, the movie had just come
Huge.
out.
Yep.
So, go ahead, tell everyone what you did besides leaving a
So
woman
I'm working at the
stranded
Writers
to
Guild.
move to Vegas.
Somebody calls and has a question about something, and she said her name. I think his last name is Patrick or something, and I like, "Oh, like the T-1000 guy." She goes, "That's my husband." I'm like, "Oh my god." So I get on the computer and you can look at credits, and all of her credits were like these Showtime
Miracle Beach.
titty movies. Like, remember
Yeah.
the soft porn they would have on there?
Skinamax, yeah.
Skinamax, all of them. So, we just kept talking. I was being very helpful and affable, but at some point I said, "Oh my your mom must be so proud."
Of
And
course you did.
I've never heard
More deafening silence.
right. It was like even the crickets were nervous. There weren't even crickets. There were no tumbleweeds. It was so and she goes
Yep.
and she said something that was just, like, obviously a sensitive subject, because you would think somebody that does those kind of movies would be comfortable with, like, "Yeah, I do nudity. What's the
No,
big
I
deal?"
don't think you expect to be, like, chastised by someone just calling to get information, like, just going about your day. It's just kind of I would be caught off guard too.
Anyway, I feel guilty about that to this
Yeah,
day. Thanks for bringing it up.
of course, and
Your
look how far
memory
you've
is
come.
so dangerous. It's so because it means that you have to be a man of your
That
word,
you
which I
can't
hate.
lie. So
Right.
dangerous. My
It
gosh, I
takes
actually have
away a
to
very important tool.
that men have?
Yes,
Or yeah.
me especially, but it was a survival technique.
How is it a survival technique?
If you're about to get punched, if you say like, "Oh, is that a teacher behind you or a police officer?" That's a lie, but it gets them to turn so you can get away.
I see. It all goes back to
Survival
Hawaii.
technique.
Oh, well,
Now,
will you look at
your
that? We are out of time for episode 1. It is 47 minutes in. So, thank you
anyway,
so much for letting me
should
interview you,
we
and we will dive into our favorite shows and content on the next episode.
yeah, well, here's the question. Should we maybe let people know what we're gonna be talking about in case they want to do a binge? Because for a perfect example, Stranger Things is one I wanted to talk about. You
Mhm.
had seen it, you had thoughts about it. I had seen the first couple of seasons, but I didn't care for the 3rd or 4th or 3rd, so I quit. But when you said you wanted to talk about it, I binged and watched the whole thing, and I just finished. So don't you think it would be useful if we even have like, that's foresight, right? Saying, "Episode 2, we're gonna talk about Stranger Things. Episode 3, we're gonna talk about Pluribus. Episode 4, we're
Mhm.
gonna pick a movie, but we're gonna
Yeah,
tell you in
maybe
episode
Sinners
2."
because
Oh,
Oscars are
good
coming
god.
up.
Can we pick a
So we
good movie? But
well,
anyway,
I mean,
no,
we could
that's a
compare it to
perfect one to
other
talk
vampire
about.
movies,
Yes,
but any
or we could say, "Look, we're gonna do an
talk over each other.
Oscar episode." I've only seen that one, but
Mhm.
we could do an episode where and because if you let people know, like, 2 episodes from now, we're gonna do Sinners, then they have time to find it, they have time to watch it, and then I would love it shouldn't just be us sharing our opinions. People can chime in comments or wherever this ends up,
Sure.
Facebook on the I think you could probably leave comments on a podcast page or whatever.
Good
I
old
hadn't thought about
Facebook.
having a web page yet. I can't do all that.
I
But
think, like, having a webpage is passé nowadays. I really do. Is
so
that
where
a
do
bold
people leave
statement?
comments about a podcast? They're if it's on Libsyn, they're
You
not
can
gonna
do
leave it
it
on
on
Libsyn.
well, typically people do a visual aspect of it, so YouTube, I would imagine, TikTok, people put it on TikTok. So, um, don't they have a place to leave comments on Apple Podcasts or no?
Yeah, that's where my troll
Oh,
left
right.
100 fake, reviews that
Mhm.
pushed my reviews down to 3.8, which is why I stopped doing my podcast. Because 'Cause I'm like, "I'm
Right.
busting my ass doing this podcast, and this dipshit gets to just make as many accounts as he wants to give me a one-star review." This episode should be called "The Troll Wins," because the
We can't
fact that
stop talking
we
about
give
it?
it any thought at all means he has won. All that time we spent fighting back,
Well, no, he
ignoring, like,
hasn't
all
because
these strategies.
I've been off grid and yeah, I'd be lying if I said that that didn't impact my decision to just kind of give up on mainstream social media at least and kind of
Is he
go
still
hide
posting about
away.
you?
What?
He's still posting about you too?
Oh,
After
absolutely,
all
yeah,
this
just,
time?
2 weeks ago,
Jesus.
yeah, pictures of me from a few years ago, which I don't mind because I was younger and better looking, but,
You have
yeah,
never
he's
been better looking.
why, thank you. But, yeah, he's still posting, so but no, I'm saying the fact that I'm at least trying to get back out there, I think is proof that I am not letting him win, so and same for you, you never stopped. You never went away, and I don't think you ever will. So, you will always be
Hey.
someone that likes to perform as we have come to learn about you from your days in Hawaii,
Yeah, well,
getting
but I'm
the shit
trying
beat
to
out of
move
you.
away from that performative life. So this is a perfect move away from needing affirmation from you, from listeners, from whoever. I don't
Oh
know.
god. We need to edit this, and we're lazy,
No,
so
we're never editing anything. Oh, it's
oh
50
god.
minutes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's too long.
And we didn't even give any interesting content. Stranger Things.
What do you mean
That's a lot of
interesting content? I said
CGI.
episode 2. You literally just said people can binge and if people
All
don't they could
right.
just fast forward if they think this episode is boring, or they could just skip to the second one. We
Maybe
already
they're boring.
there you go. I feel like, if you now I see that you are a really difficult person to interview because you feel like you should be the producer or you kinda have your own vision, and you derail the interviewer as the interviewee and also kinda go off on tangents and then blame the interviewer for making things boring when I'm like, "You're
Gaslighting.
the one going off about irrelevant stories." So
That's kind of like gaslighting,
and I've
as I
been
understand it.
moving my mouth around too much around this microphone, so
Well, anyway, I'm delighted to be doing a podcast with you. Thank you for helping me with the ideation, the name,
we need a
the
do-over.
the little ditty in the beginning.
If it were up to me, I would re-record this entire episode.
Of course you would, but that's why I'm the producer.
Well, I'm the producer for the first episode at least, so we'll see how it okay, let's let people the 5 people that are gonna listen to this, whatever, let's let them comment and see if they found learning about you interesting. If not, then I will
I mean,
concede.
if it was just an interview with me, it would've been super interesting, but I do this in my jobs too. Is like if I don't like an idea, then I just roll my eyes a lot, and I've gotten that in every job review I've ever had. Like, you didn't like the idea, you just started rolling your eyes, and then you weren't helpful. But if it's my idea or it's an idea I like, then I'm like hyper creative, hyper excited and contributing, and then if I don't like it, I'm just like, "Oy vey."
Okay,
Oh,
stranger
ow.
then let's we don't even have to put this out there. It's just let's just this could have been
No,
a
this is
practice
gonna be
run.
out there because
No,
it's
this is a
us.
practice run.
No,
And
this
then,
is helping people understand what this podcast
oh
is
my
gonna
god, this
be.
is a mess. We're
It's
talking
us
over each other.
talking. That's what it's gonna be, us having a convo, and they get to listen to it. And
Wow.
because we're inherently interesting
Oh
people,
god. That's gonna be the soundbite for the troll. We are
uh,
inherently interesting people,
we
and
are,
mine is
and
gonna be,
the
"I'm
more
an
you say
idiot."
it, if you say it enough, it must be
Savant.
true. This is America.
Alright, 53 minutes. Now
Anyway,
now
you
I'm gonna
were
be the producer and cut you off. Alright, enough.
okay, well, thank you, uh, Melissa. And thank you everyone for
Thank you,
listening.
Scott,
And
Earl.
so next week, we're going to talk about Stranger Things. We're definitely going to talk about Pluribus, which we're both fans of, and we're going to pick movies and streaming programs that you have seen or can see, and we'll occasionally throw in a documentary. We'll occasionally not talk about any of that. We're just going to talk about life and relationships, and
And
probably
non-relationships.
non-relationships. We're going to talk about perimenopause. What do you call it? Perio?
Why would we talk about that?
Well, I think we should talk about
I don't
every
even know
human
what that is.
subject.
I'm too
We're
young to even
we're
think
gonna talk
about such
about
things.
erectile dysfunction,
Well,
which
that we can
nobody
talk about.
no.
You're not dyeing your hair anymore, so that one,
I'm
the
going to
secret's
dye it
out.
right now
Yeah, now
because
that I
it's
said
looking
it.
so
At least
gray.
I'm still going with the facade.
So now we have to share this as a video because we're talking about visual things, and I got my haircut today, and it looks so gray. And I'm sorry I didn't shave. That was very disrespectful to you in the podcast
Yeah, you could have done that in the extra 20, 30 minutes that I
that I spent waiting for Her Majesty to look
oh gosh,
glorious.
for my fake eyelashes. Okay.
You have fake can you lean in closer so everybody can see them?
No.
They
You
look
can't see
totally
them.
real.
You can't see them on because that's my thing where okay, you know what? No. It's coming up on an hour. We'll save it for the
Why are
next
you
podcast.
watching the clock? Look, okay, here's another thing. Best practices 20 to 30 minutes for a podcast. Well, that's a bunch of hooey. You talk for as long as you talk, and people listen in their car driving to work. Well, some people drive 2 hours, people drive 10 minutes. You can't cater it to a certain drive. This is
Yeah,
our
but you
first
can't you actually
episode. This is
have
the
to have
most exciting.
content that people wanna listen to, not just us rambling about fake eyelashes and haircuts. So, this let's just call this a practice then. I think this is good.
Nope,
It got me a lot more comfortable,
nope,
so that's good. Okay,
nope.
hit it.
We're not. No, we are not. No, no.
How are we
This
oh,
is
so
our
this is gonna
first
be a
fight.
one-episode podcast,
Yeah,
which
it could be.
kind of
Oh,
tracks with my background and my history where I would just, like, start a YouTube channel and have, like, one thing and be like, "Okay, well, I have a YouTube. That's it. I have one video.
well, that's true
I
because
did
you
it."
have to stick with it. And in the world of job interviews, you got to figure out 100 rejections. In the world of relationships, 100
That
rejections.
sounds so
You have to
boomery.
make 100 podcast episodes. I would say I was probably close to 80 or 100 before it was a consistent number of downloads every time. And now I'm doing them once a year. Boom, I hit that number
Once a
every
year.
time. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Believe me, hitting it once a year, I've gotten used to that.
The
Okay.
annual podcast
I
and
didn't say anything about the back door. What?
wait, what?
Oh, annual. Okay.
Annual.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah,
See you
wow,
next time,
you have a
everybody.
gift. You have a gift. All right. Bye.